Fun.
Okay, welcome back to another Gibbs adventure. And today it's April the 20th, 2022, and I'm out for spring beaver. And I'm up in the Timmins area trapping beavers, and so you can see the creeks are just starting to open, but we still have an awful lot of water. And I was out a couple days ago and I set a set here to see if I could test it out, but ideally I'd like to set every creek like this with a couple of sets and get the beavers as they're traveling. What happens in the spring, the female beavers are going to have a new litter, so they kick the 2-year-olds out. So you start having lots of beavers traveling along the creeks looking for new places to set up homes. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. And it's usually males that you get right away the first time. So we'll see what happens. The trap's gone. And there's the beaver. You got a beaver! Fuck, we got a big one. So I'm using Savage O 2001-12 traps, and in my opinion, and there's lots of opinions, it's the best beaver trap out there. And one of the reasons I really like it, you see how he's caught by the front leg? On a lot of traps, he would have missed him completely. So I managed, when I came out the other day, because everything was still really frozen, is to punch in one set here, and I actually had a hard time because the ground was still frozen and I had to get a hammer and pound it in my bait stick. Anyways, so got a beaver, so I'm pretty happy about it. Anyways, you can see a nice solid catch. And one of the first things I do when I catch a beaver always is look at the tail. And you can see the tail on this guy is pretty good. There's one little bite out of it there. And that tells you the health of the beaver a lot of times. Because if the tails are all full of bite marks, your population is too high, they're fighting, and the pelt is going to be almost worthless. Then it goes to what we call a hatter market. Hatter beaver, they buy them not for the fur quality, but for the under fur that they can make cowboy hats out of. So you can really tell the health of your beaver just by looking at the tails. So I'm trying to pick a spot here to put a trap in, and I'm a little bit early. In another week when it melts more, I'll have more opportunities to put traps in. So what I'm going to try and do is just pick a spot where it kind of hits it, because there's still ice in the culvert. So I'm just going to plunk a set in here for now. One of the things I try to do is I always try to grab white sticks from Beaver set. They're attractive. It's kind of an eye appeal for them. Here, I got a good spot right here. The other difficulty you'll run into sometimes when you're trying to set along the road like this is they put a lot of rock rubble here and you can't really move it. So you got to pick your battles. But I got a good spot. I'm going to plunk it in right here. So every one of my traps has 10 feet of cable on them right now. And that allows me to allow the beaver to get caught and then get out of the way so another beaver doesn't chew on him. If he was stuck on the bank or something, in the springtime they're really territorial, they're looking for new spots and they start fighting and they start biting each other. So you want to have a good piece of cable on it like so. This is a really good anchor system, because all I do is it's a piece of cable, I lock it around the tree. Takes less than a minute to do. And that's it. I got a nice strong cable. The other thing I try to bring with me all the time is my tuning sticks, because if there's something in the way like this guy, I can easily cut it out of the way and make myself a nice little opening. Alright, good to go. Too rotten. One of the problems I'm running into today is that the banks are still frozen in some places, so it's hard to get in a stick. Some Bob Wilson green beaver lure. Good dab will do ya. One of the things that I do all the time to stop the beavers from going over the traps, because they're very aggressive and they'll come rushing into the set, is I'll just take a branch a lot of times and stick it over top, and it just kind of guides them in there a little bit better. Nothing really fancy, but just keeps them down, because a lot of times they're so aggressive they'll grab the top of the trap and try to go over top of the trap, so this way here it steers them into it. I try to have my lure within 2 inches of my trigger so that there's no argument. And like I said, 10 feet of cable right here. When he gets caught, he's going to be over there. He'll be in the water and he'll be out of the way. And he'll be away from other predators or other beavers from damaging him. And that's it. Lure set in the spring.